This video has appeared in your life right now for a special reason. It has arrived during a pivotal, defining period of your existence when you are internally completely ready for fundamental changes. For a long time now, you've been sensing an unusual premonition deep within your consciousness, as if something significant and momentous is about to happen. This isn't just a guess. It's your subconscious possessing knowledge. You stand at the edge of that critical moment that will divide your life into before and after. You approach this transformational threshold, perhaps without even fully understanding the scale of the changes that are approaching. All the years you've lived, all the hardships you've overcome and achievements you've made, all failures and successes. All of this has served as preparation for the current moment. And now, that very instant has arrived when time seems to slow down before the decisive leap into a new reality. Inside you, a powerful tension is growing, like a spring compressed to its limit and finally ready to release with all its accumulated energy. This is the intermediate state between your yesterday and tomorrow self, between familiar reality and that amazing life that is already knocking at your door. In moments like these, it is absolutely normal to experience doubts. Questions arise in your mind. Will I be able to handle this? Do I deserve such transformations? What if I'm not prepared? These thoughts are merely a protective mechanism of your psyche, fearful of stepping beyond the boundaries of your comfort zone. But you know what? The very presence of these doubts confirms that you are already ready for change. An unprepared person wouldn't even be thinking about this. Perhaps you've been working toward this breakthrough for many years. You've overcome seemingly insurmountable barriers, worked on yourself during periods when others gave up, fell down, scraped your knees, but got back up again and continued on your path. And now, when the goal is so close, you might experience a deceptive feeling of stagnation. This is an illusion. In reality, you've never been closer to a qualitative breakthrough, to that moment when all elements suddenly align into a perfect picture. There exists an important spiritual law. The closer the moment of true breakthrough, the more chaotic and complicated your life may seem. This is not a coincidence or a test. It's the final check before advancing to a new level. The universe is essentially asking, are you truly ready to accept what you've been asking for so long? Have you matured enough for these changes? Sadly, many people retreat right now, at this decisive moment, when they reach just one step away from their desired goal. Why is it so frightening? Because even the most favorable changes scare our psyche, accustomed to a certain order of things. We instinctively cling to the familiar, even if it has long ceased to satisfy us. But a real breakthrough requires the courage to let go of outdated beliefs that once protected you but now only hold you back. Familiar but toxic thinking patterns that have become psychological cages, fears that have limited your growth for years like chains. If it seems to you now that your entire world is crumbling, this is a wonderful sign. Old structures are breaking down to make space for something new and more perfect. Your coming breakthrough is not just an external change like a new job or relationship. It is a profound internal transformation that you've been unconsciously preparing for all these years. Every trial, every failure, every tear, and every victory. All of these were crucial lessons, preparation for this moment of truth. Look back without fear or judgment. Remember how much you've already overcome. Those failures that seemed catastrophic were actually necessary stages of your development. You've become stronger, wiser, more resilient, though perhaps you haven't noticed it. And now, when all conditions have aligned, you have only to make one final decisive push. To achieve this, there are three fundamental elements, three pillars that support any genuine breakthrough. The first is complete trust in the process, even when everything inside you is screaming for surrender. The second is the ability to release control, because new possibilities will only emerge when you loosen your grip. The third is accepting your fear as a natural and even useful reaction when stepping beyond the boundaries of familiar territory. Your breakthrough may manifest in a completely unexpected form. What currently feels like a painful loss might turn out to be a blessed release from unnecessary burden. What appears to be an insurmountable obstacle is actually a turn toward a new, brighter path. You stand on the threshold of a renewed self. Everything you've worked for, everything you've believed in, all your dreams and aspirations. All of this will soon manifest in your reality. in the most unexpected and remarkable way. You exist in a special interval between what was and what will be. This transitional state, when the old reality no longer functions and the new has not yet fully emerged, can cause anxiety and doubt. But it's precisely here, in this zone of discomfort, that the most important changes in our lives are born. It is no coincidence that you, rereading these lines. The universe is subtly guiding you toward the idea of transformation because it senses your readiness for serious change. At this moment, you stand at the boundary between the familiar world and a new reality that awaits its time. Before the most significant breakthrough, fear often intensifies to its maximum. This is a natural reaction of the psyche that tries to keep you in your comfort zone. Even if that zone has already become cramped and uncomfortable, your brain perceives any change as a potential threat, so it activates all warning signals. But wisdom lies in learning to distinguish between fear that warns of genuine danger and fear that simply resists change. Fear before a breakthrough has specific characteristics. It is vague and non-specific, often connected to imagined catastrophes that are unlikely to occur in reality. When you begin to examine this fear by asking yourself what you were really afraid of, it often loses its power. Try it right now. Take a piece of paper and write down your 3 strongest fears related to the upcoming changes. Next to each one, note what is the worst that could happen and how you would cope with it. You'll be surprised at how manageable your fears become with this approach. Uncertainty is another constant companion of serious change. Our mind craves clarity. It wants to see the entire map of the journey in advance. But life is structured differently. Headlights illuminate only the nearest few meters of road ahead, and that is normal. Instead of demanding complete certainty from yourself, try to develop a comfortable relationship with uncertainty. Start small. Allow yourself not to know how today will end. Where will a random encounter lead? What turn has fate prepared? Gradually, you'll learn to trust the flow of life. Right now, in this specific moment, your task is to keep moving, even if the final destination isn't yet visible. Take small steps every day. Call that person you've wanted to talk to for a long time. Start that project you've been postponing for months. Sign up for that course that has been tempting you. These small actions create momentum and gradually clear the path to your big breakthrough. Look back and thank yourself for everything you've already overcome. Every difficulty, every failure, every tear shed. All of this was necessary to bring you to this present moment. You possess greater strength than you realize and are fully ready for the changes that are already knocking at your door. Trust this process. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. When you begin to live in harmony with your deepest aspirations, the world around you seems to join your game, offering amazing coincidences and signals. These synchronicities are not merely random occurrences. You may notice how the right people appear at the most opportune moment. How books with answers to your questions catch your eye on their own. How circumstances unexpectedly align in your favor. But to recognize these hints requires a special state of mindfulness, the ability to be fully present in the current moment, with an open heart and clear mind. Simultaneously, it is exceptionally important to develop deep, genuine gratitude within yourself. This isn't just a polite thank you to life, but a powerful transformational tool that changes your energy and perception of reality. When you daily find reasons for gratitude, for the morning, for the ability to breathe, for small joys, you literally reorganize your nervous system, tuning it to the frequency of abundance. We're often so focused on future achievements that we forget to appreciate the path we've traveled. Try right now to recall 3 small but significant victories from recent months. Those very steps that imperceptibly bring you closer to your goal. But positive attitude alone, of course, isn't enough. The true secret of breakthrough lies in the systematic and regular actions. Contrary to common belief, real changes rarely happen as a sudden insight or unexpected gift from fate. Much more often they result from daily, seemingly insignificant efforts, which over time accumulate into a qualitative leap. This sequence creates that very snowball effect, when initially small actions gradually gain mass and momentum, transforming into an unstoppable force. Many make the mistake of waiting for inspiration or a special mood to begin. But the paradox is that motivation comes not before, but during action. The first steps truly require willpower, similar to the first pushes of a snowball. But with each new day of practice, movement becomes easier, and momentum stronger. Try immediately to take one small action toward your goal. A phone call, an inquiry, a page read. This is the beginning of your momentum. Discipline is the key ingredient that transforms a one-time impulse into a sustainable trajectory of growth. But it's important to understand it correctly. It is not military drilling, but a conscious choice of freedom from momentary moods. True discipline manifests in the smallest daily choices. Getting up 15 minutes earlier to plan your day, choosing a healthy breakfast instead of fast food, spending an evening with a book instead of a TV series. These micro decisions, when repeated, create macro changes. Your environment is either a springboard or a brake on your path to breakthrough. Take a closer look. Does the space where you live and work inspire you? Do the people in your immediate circle support you? The ideal environment is like fertile soil for the sprouts of your changes. Especially important are those few people who see your best qualities even when you doubt yourself. Their belief in you becomes a bridge through periods of uncertainty. But the most important environment is your internal world and how you talk to yourself. Harsh self-criticism is sabotage of your own efforts. Try today to treat yourself all day as you would your best friend. Support, encourage, acknowledge achievements. You'll be amazed at how your energy and productivity will change. And remember, don't wait for perfect conditions. All great breakthroughs happen far from ideal circumstances, but with absolute clarity of intentions. Life rarely offers perfect moments for decisive actions. There will always be the wrong time, wrong preparation, wrong resources. But the difference between those who achieve breakthrough and those who remain stagnant lies precisely in the readiness to begin before ideal conditions arrive. It is in these moments of uncertainty that your true strength is born. The ability to take a step forward, even when visibility is zero, but your inner compass clearly indicates the direction. Complement this with the practice of small steps. Most importantly, learn to distinguish between two types of fatigue, the kind that needs rest and the kind that requires forward movement. The first is healed by a pause, the second, by activity. Listen to your body, but don't allow the tricks of your mind to hinder your development under the pretext of tiredness. Your breakthrough has already begun. In that moment when you recognize your readiness for change, now what remains is the essential part. Day by day, gradually turning your decision into concrete actions. When you approach your significant breakthrough, be prepared that the route will be winding and challenging. Life gladly presents unexpected turns and challenges, which may be perceived as obstacles, but in reality serve as hidden opportunities for personal development. In such moments, you might feel tempted to give up, experience disappointment, or even decide that all previous efforts were in vain. But it is precisely here that the most important lesson lies. True strength manifests not in rigid adherence to a plan, but in intelligent flexibility that helps you adapt to circumstances while keeping the main goal in sight. Flexibility is not a sign of weakness or indecision, but the highest expression of wisdom. Sometimes what seems like an annoying deviation from your planned course turns out to be a redirection to a more suitable path. One whose existence you didn't even suspect, but which leads to even more significant achievements. Every obstacle on your path contains a valuable lesson. Perhaps it teaches patience when you want immediate results, or it develops your resilience when it seems easier to give up. Or maybe it highlights aspects of your personality that still need work and improvement. When you face difficulties with receptivity and willingness to learn rather than resistance, you don't just overcome them. You become stronger, wiser, and better prepared for future challenges. One of the most effective ways to develop life flexibility is the daily practice of mindfulness. By dedicating just 10 to 15 minutes in the morning or evening to silence and self-observation, you create an inner space for clearer understanding of your situation. In this state, you'll be able to better recognize your authentic needs, understand the hidden meaning of current circumstances, and make decisions that truly align with your deepest goals. Meditation is not an esoteric practice, but a training of the mind that helps filter out external noise and hear the voice of your intuition. But flexibility is only one component of the equation for successful progress toward breakthrough. Equally essential is learning to notice and acknowledge your intermediate achievements. Our brain is wired to focus on what hasn't been achieved yet, often ignoring the stages of the journey already completed. To reconfigure this innate tendency, create a personal ritual of recognizing your successes. Start an achievement journal where each evening you record 3 small victories of the day. What you did well, what you learned, what difficulties you overcame. This simple practice serves several important functions. It reinforces positive changes, nourishes your motivation, and creates a sense of forward movement, even on days when it seems like you retreading water. Life, like nature, flows in cycles. After a phase of active growth and intense activity, there naturally comes a period of inner winter, a time for recovery, reflection, and integration of the experiences gained. Instead of criticizing yourself for an apparent decrease in productivity during such periods, learn to respect these natural rhythms. In moments of rising energy, act with more confidence and determination. And when you feel a decline, focus on analysis, planning, and replenishing your strength. Remember that even the greatest rivers have their high and low tides, but they never stop flowing toward the ocean. When the long-awaited breakthrough finally happens, many make a key mistake. They decide they've reached the final point of their development. But life is not climbing a single mountain, after which you can rest on your laurels. It is a journey along an endless mountain range, where each conquered peak reveals a view of new, even higher summits. Your current success is merely the foundation for the next stage of growth and self-improvement. To maintain development momentum, incorporate a few simple but effective practices into your life, regularly reviewing and adjusting goals, continuously acquiring new skills, and consciously stepping out of your comfort zone. The most serious danger after your first significant successes is falling into complacency and stopping your development. History knows many examples where talented people, having reached a certain level of recognition or mastery, stopped growing and consequently lost everything they had worked so hard to acquire. To avoid this trap, cultivate within yourself what Eastern philosophy calls beginner's mind, a state of mind where you maintain curiosity and openness to the new, willingness to learn from everyone you meet and from every situation. Your current breakthrough is not the finish line, but a powerful springboard for future achievements. What seemed like the limit of your dreams just last year now becomes the starting position for even bolder goals. And in this endless process of growth, self-discovery, and self-improvement lies the true joy of existence. Continue moving forward, celebrating each step of this amazing journey. And remember, the most impressive discoveries and accomplishments still await you ahead. After a long-awaited breakthrough comes a period when it is exceptionally important to focus on self-care. In the pursuit of goals, we often forget that real achievements are not just about results, but also about the ability to enjoy the fruits of our efforts. You've likely gone through periods of intense work, sacrificed rest, and pushed physical and emotional well-being to the background. Now is the time to restore balance, because success loses its value if you can to experience it with the fullness of your being. This is the perfect moment to consciously slow down and replenish your energy reserves. Self-care is not a privilege for the select few, but a necessary condition for long-term development. When you are physically and emotionally fulfilled, you create a solid foundation for new accomplishments. Pay special attention to your environment. The people with whom you choose to share your energy become either wings or weights on your path. After a significant achievement, it is especially important to surround yourself with those who don't just admire you, but also inspire you toward further improvement. Seek out those who share your values, but aren't afraid to challenge your limitations. Such relationships are a rare gift. They become catalysts for continuous development. Your personal breakthrough never remains solely your possession. Like ripples on water from a thrown stone, it inevitably touches the lives of those around you. You may not even realize who is watching your story, drawing inspiration from it for their own transformations. Your resilience in the face of difficulties, your ability to rise after falling, your willingness to continue growing after success, all of this becomes a living example for others. When you invest in your own development, you unintentionally raise the standards for those around you. Your evolution creates a domino effect, encouraging others to reconsider their limiting beliefs. Thus, an individual achievement transforms into a collective transformation, and your personal success becomes part of something greater, a movement toward a conscious, fulfilled life for many. On a scale of 1 to 10, how ready do you feel for your next breakthrough? Drop your number and why in the comments if you found this video useful. Please like it and subscribe to the channel. There are more videos on this channel that will help you become a better version of yourself.